from last session.
So we were scrying on Worthington and found him to be on a boat, teleported to said boat, got captured, uh, kind of, just sweetened up the old necromancer lich there, and got him to kind of dump out a lot of secrets on us, and attempted to strike a faulty deal, have him not be so uh, uh, just willy nilly about his army recruiting tactics.
You can say it, dickish.
Yeah, it's reckless. Less, indiscriminate is the word I was looking for.
There you go.
But he then didn't agree to that, and then we left. I think we teleported back to Kazgarim, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And I think we were. No. Then we had teleported after that, after a brief kind of rendezvous, teleported to the continent of the Nemesi.
Correct.
And then we had to speak with the leader, who, after we kind of revealed our credentials, agreed to talk with us. I think that's where we left off.
Yeah, you guys had to go rescue Galetus because you decided to jump before thinking. Okay. Well, you guys are now in the palace. You were told that not the entire country is on the right side. Some still follow Chronons. And that outside the whoa, outside the walls of the capital that you're in, it's pretty much a fend for yourself.
I want to kind of take a look at this capital. I want to see what it looks like one of my kind of gazing at.
Okay. Mostly what you see is various, not so much huts, but slightly better than huts. Um, there are a few big buildings created out of pure stonework. Um, Not the best. I mean, dwarves obviously make better, but this is more functional than it is pretty. Which you can tell most of the city seems to be that way. Is it's more functional than pretty. Um, it is kind of a fortress within a fortress, which tells you the kind of philosophy that the Nemesi have. They're pretty much a warrior-like race, and that's pretty much their entire purpose.
Which city is this?
Rayadar.
Okay, that's
It's the capital city for it's the capital city for the Nemesi continent, which is Conwy, Conwy.
Sorry about that. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. What I miss?
I don't know. I don't know where you left off.
I think just the description of the city.
That's okay.
Yeah. There is definitely a lot of metalwork mixed within the various architecture. Looks like they tried to um, pretty much the metal that they have within inside their bodies. It looks like they also tried to craft into their design work. Like I said, it's more functional than it is pretty. It's not designed to be, a beautiful city. It's designed to be a, city of function, and it has its purpose. It is a bit colder here because you are in the colder part of the climate. So you guys weren't really prepared for this, so you're a little chilly. Nothing too bad yet. Thankfully, the city does provide some protection from the winds that you can hear outside. The various Nemesi, some just kind of look at you and, not really care. Others kind of glare at you. You can tell there is a very uneasy alliance going on right now between both factions. Some proudly walk through the streets wearing Chronon symbol, and they get looked at, rather dirtily by others who are wearing miscellaneous symbols. You could see some for. Most of them are actually followers of Strike, um, which is the goddess for the Nemesi. Also, the leader's name is Strike.
Why are we in the city again? Remind me.
I think we're going after the key.
Yeah, there are a couple keys
Uh,
here.
Were the
Right.
keys like in this city specifically, or just two in the continent?
There are two on the continent. You guys kind of just saw that they were there, and you were like, "Okay, let's go." And since you guys have never been to Conway, the teleportation you actually lucked out put you there. You guys kind of focus. You just said, "Get me to the Nemesi continent," and well, the elements being, you know, as chaos and chaotic as they are, just threw you in, you know, best place it saw. So it threw you in the capital city. Um, Part of you also has a feeling that maybe there's more to it, and maybe there's a reason you were thrown here. From what you've been told, uh, the leader here does not have any of the keys. She is aware that they exist here, but has not tried to go for them due to the tensions that are already between the two factions. One is held in the northeast corner, up in the mountain range, and the other is actually southeast of you guys in the forested area.
Say,
Okay.
should we go see the queen since she knows about the keys? Maybe she knows where they are.
That's how much she told you. She told you that's where they're at. She doesn't know exactly where they're specifically at. She just knows that they're in that location.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were we following her into a more kind of
Yeah, you guys.
secluded?
Yeah, you guys basically followed her straight into like her makeshift throne room, where she dismissed everybody, and it was just you guys and her. There were several Nemesi outside the doors, but you know, they obviously listened to their queen.
All right, we walk on through.
Okay. As you guys, get fully into the throne room, she goes over. She takes a seat. Um, the seat is interesting because it's made of skeletons.
Hmm.
All good, kerosene.
Can I see the skeletons of a just humanoid nature, or?
It looks like a mix of races, from what you can tell. You can see a few elven heads, a couple dwarven heads just by their, short, stout nature. A lot of humans, from what you can tell. I mean, this throne is pretty big to be able to hold her massive weight and, her size just alone. Just alone. Um, you do see a few elvish type races, but nothing you can exactly put as what type of elf it was.
So what is made of? Was this a throne? Sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, it's her throne.
My audio cut out.
I'm talking. It's her throne, and it's made of skeleton bones of miscellaneous races.
Ah, aesthetic.
Yeah.
So, my queen, I suppose those skeletons are the bones of your enemies.
They were.
I noticed that there was quite a few followers of Chronons walking the streets freely.
Yes.
What? I'm sure that many of your kind of fall into those forces. I'm wondering why you would allow that.
because as of right now, they have caused no reason for us to strip them of privileges within the city. Unlike most of the other nations and cities, we are a little more open. Our numbers are not as numerous as we used to be, especially after the incursions.
The incursions?
Yes, we've had problems with creatures and whatnot, in addition to the original Great War, which decimated quite a bit of our numbers, and then the divide now between us, between those who follow Strike or Goddess and those who follow Chronons. We have come to an uneasy and tenuous alliance for now. Basically, they mind their own business and keep to themselves, and we won't hunt them down and destroy them.
Fair enough, I suppose. I'm going to insight that regardless.
Okay. Something most groups don't do with me. I don't know why. From what you can tell, you haven't really known her that long, but from what you can tell, she seemed to be pretty matter-of-factly about it. It doesn't seem like she's hiding anything. She seems annoyed that they're allowed, but not annoyed enough to really do anything about it.
So I suppose you know why we're here.
She smiles. Yes, the two stones that are on the continent. Thankfully, they were never acquired by the other side.
So you know of their locations?
I know the general areas for both of them. They're both well guarded by creatures that don't make things easy.
What creatures are those?
I believe the one in the northeast is guarded by, if I recall correctly from the stories we heard, a chimera and a few others. And the one in the southeast, just outside the walls in the forest, is guarded by some other creatures that no one has actually been able to pin down. From the description I recall from the text, it sounds something like centaurs.
Sounds like a what?
Centaur.
Oh boy.
Can these centaurs be reasoned with?
Possibly. We couldn't reason with them, but that may be due to our race. You may have a better chance.
Well, just leave that to Kerosene, boys.
Oh, so about that chimera, huh?
Like, oh fuck.
I gave him that idea.
No, I had ideas for creatures that I haven't thrown at you
I
guys
was
yet.
thinking Dragon's Dogma, so
There's not much known about them. The texts are very vague in their description, and I can only say it sounds like a chimera. It could be something completely different, but from the description we have, that's what it sounds like.
Well, fellas, what do you say to a monster hunt?
I am all up for it.
Sounds good.
All right. Now, I understand that you've got an uneasy alliance with the Chronon's forces, but is there any way you might be able to secret away a couple of funds to help transport us?
I'll see what I can do. Unfortunately, he does have eyes and ears here. We were his creation. I may not be proud of the fact, but it's truth, and it's not something we deny just because we no longer follow his ideals.
It's nothing you can help. No blames on you for that.
Do not. I'll see what I can do. Which way do you want to go first?
I'd like to look in the northeast and see about this chimera.
And she kind of looks at you guys and, okay, I'll see what I can do. You see her just kind of, she stands up, she kind of holds her hand out, and you just see her kind of concentrate. You notice the pendant that she's wearing, which is the symbol of the atom, begins to spin. The atom itself begins to spin within the amulet. It goes so fast that you literally, now it's just a blur. And she focuses, and you can see, like, we'll say four, because steel will be there, quote unquote. You'll see four beams of light shoot out of her hand, and they kind of encompass you. You don't, it's, you can tell it's nothing bad. I mean, you guys are a little iffy because, well, she's a fucking Nemesi. But you know she's also a guardian, and they're particularly, since you guys are all guardians, you know that specifically your task is to protect the world. Political, allegiances aside. Just happens to be working out. You guys are working in your favor for now.
I say, hold on. Are you trying to teleport us right now?
Sort of. I'm more giving you a little added security.
Speaking of added security, well, we're quite wealthy, and if there is nothing that the crown can bestow on us by means of a powerful warrior, let it be known that our pockets are deep, and we'd be willing to help out any kind of mercenary who thinks themselves to be powerful enough to accompany us on this monster hunt.
She smiles. All right. She stops, and the glow kind of fades on you guys. But you feel a little tougher. Each of you get plus 20 temporary hit points.
Ah, all right.
That will last to your long rest. Give me a few minutes. Let me go see if I can get a volunteer. We may not agree with Chronons, but that doesn't mean we're friendly towards the other races. She goes, one of my guards will show you to a waiting room. If you want something to eat or drink, just ask. And relax, nothing's poisoned. That I'm aware of. She just kind of chuckles.
Close enough for me.
As you guys all walk out together, she's says something in her tongue you're gathering.
What language is it?
Nemesi.
I would use the helm of comprehend languages, but I don't want to suck up all its power and destroy it.
She says something. Unfortunately, you don't remember. I mean, the words sound familiar to you, Razik, because you've heard some of the language because you've used the helm before. So some of the words sound familiar, but you can't remember exactly what they meant. So you kind of get the meaning, and she kind of points in a direction, so you assume she's just sending you guys to the waiting room, quote unquote. As you guys get there, it's actually not as garish as the throne room. They're like comfortable sofa type setups, more like the Roman sleigh type setups, where you have that half couch, half relaxation. I don't know why. Yeah, I can't remember the life of me the name of those things.
A wraparound couch.
Yeah. A bunch of places where just pillows are seated. Obviously, these guys have a very awkward time sitting. A servant comes in, another Nemesi. This is the first time you've ever seen this. This is Nemesi with no wings.
I want to take a closer look at this fella.
Well, as they move closer, it's a female. You can tell by the slight variations of obviously female esque forms. But yeah, she definitely has no wings, and it doesn't even look like she ever had any.
Is it polite to ask
Maybe
why
half
they don't have
Nemesi?
wings?
Hmm?
Is it polite to ask why she doesn't have wings?
You don't know. You guys unfortunately don't know much about Nemesi culture other than that they were violent warriors who originally were, the reason that half the world was basically taken out, um, and then eventually drew back. That's about as much as you guys know because no one ever really studied them.
Should we
Maybe half Nemesi?
She looks full-blooded to you guys.
It. I want to. Okay, can we still talk to each other in our minds without the dragon connection?
Yes. That is allowed through your pendants, because the guardians need to be able to speak with each other no matter the distance. So like Kerosene could be on the other side of the world, and you could still communicate her through the elemental powers you guys have.
Kerosene, you or me? Who you want to take this, or should I? Ask
do?
about them wings. I mean, I can try and put it as politely as I can.
I feel like you're a more friendly face.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna. So is this what is this Nemesi doing when they're like coming in the room?
As she comes in, you can tell she's in kind of like ratty clothing. You've noticed most of the other Nemesi around here, with a few exceptions, seem to be in somewhat more decent clothes. So you're assuming this is probably the servant. The other fact is she's carrying a big silver tray with what look like fruits, bread, cheese. You see a bottle of something, you're not sure. And she just walks over and she sets it down on a small table. And she just kind of backs off and kind of stands near the door but doesn't leave and just kind of shrinks into herself, which is really weird to see because, every other Nemesi you've seen has been standing up tall when you pass by and, they're looking all proud. She does not. She looks more subservient.
Oh well, thank you for all the food here. Did you make this?
I was ordered to acquire it for you.
Well, whatever you had to do, you did a great job. This is wonderful. You got pecan spin wheels and apple cider. It looks just wonderful. I didn't catch your name. What is it again?
Shanak.
Shanak, huh? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this must be terribly rude, but would you mind telling me why you don't seem to have the wings?
She kind of smiles slightly at, some of your comments, seeming to appreciate you, showing her respect, which obviously from what you can tell, she probably doesn't get a lot of in this place. There are many that are born without wings. They are considered the... You see her think for a second. She says something in obviously her native tongue, probably because she's trying to think in her mind of how to say it in common. You can definitely tell she is not used to speaking this language, but apparently knows enough of it to get by. I believe you call them...
Would this be a cast?
She looks at you confused. We are considered lower beings.
Hmm. Bit of a knowing look at Kerosene. Well, that's unfortunate. I take it you're not treated very well here.
I wasn't for a long time. The Queen has been a lot more forgiving lately.
Forgiving? Was there something you did wrong?
Most of the other of my kin tend to treat us in a lesser light. She has attempted to protect us to a point. Um, I didn't do anything
To a
wrong.
point.
I didn't do anything wrong. I just wasn't born into the higher caste.
Were you ever mistreated by this queen? Did she treat you as an equal, or at least a common citizen?
The queen has treated me fairly, as much as she can, due to the current entanglement between the two sides. The previous king was not so nice.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And a quick mental message, guys. We gotta. Side note: we got to do something about this situation here. I mean, we can't just let a whole group of people go trodden on like that.
I agree.
I want to kind of. Well, I guess I couldn't reach your shoulder.
No, she's a bit taller than you.
Jump up into the air.
Yeah, she's about 8
I,
feet
I
tall. But it's really weird because even though she's 8 feet tall, the way she's kind of crouched down into herself, she's probably max height, and she's kind of almost sitting down in her aspect. She's probably max height right now, about 6 feet.
I I pull over a chair, get on top of it, and put a hand on her shoulder.
She does shy away a little bit as you kind of get close. And then as you go to, put your hand, even in a nice manner, she still kind of twitches just ever so slightly.
I kind of lower my voice just in case. Shauna, we're gonna make this right. Don't you worry, but we're gonna make this right.
And if we make it terribly wrong, we'll help you escape.
And if we fuck up, we'll get you out.
That's right. Just keep in mind, you got a friend in us.
As you, I know, I was waiting. As you guys are, just kind of sitting there, do any of you try the food?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
will.
tear apart them pecan spin wheels and apple cider.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually really good. It's actually really good food. You weren't actually expecting it because these guys don't exactly look like they're, top chefs, but, it's pretty good quality considering. As you guys are just kind of sitting there eating and, kind of looking between each other and looking over to poor Shannock, the door swings open and she jerks, like visible jerks, but then she quickly regains her composure and just stands there. The gentleman who walks, gentleman, lack of a better term, the individual who walks in is a obvious male. He's obviously the higher caste because he has wings. He's wearing a symbol you haven't seen before.
What does it look like?
Let me see if I saved it. I probably didn't. Too busy going through it. Oh shit, okay. Steele just told me he is not making it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently. Just real quick, I just happened to catch it. Oh shit. His friend's father had a heart attack, so he's in the hospital with him. So.
Oh,
Oh
God.
wow.
Yeah, just a shitty
Everyone's
night all
having
around.
a bad day today.
I know, right?
Thought the 13th was last week.
So did I.
I was really upset that I missed all the Friday the 13th tattoo events because I had to work.
Tattoo? What?
Yeah, here in town on Friday the 13th, various tattoo shops have sales on piercings, and they have special $20 Friday the 13th related tattoos, or a little tiny simple line art design, and I missed it because I had to work.
Ooh, I would I would not take a risk on a discount tattoo.
Oh, they're really good. My friend got Mimikyu.
Oh, Mimikyu, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
the fake Pikachu.
So, do we want to like continue on, or do we want to maybe cut it short?
It's up to you guys.
I'm fine either way because we could just do like an RP heavy session, but I don't think we should do anything like of heavy importance because sometimes major key points are hard to explain, and they'd have to go back and watch the recordings, and that takes a whole lot of time. So, I mean, we can just fuck around.
Hey, maybe we just solve this little injustice problem.
Yeah, we could fix the cast.
That's the symbol he's wearing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Anyone
You
want
don't.
to do a religion check?
You can if you want.
Ooh, I don't think I have that specialty, but I mean, there's always a chance.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can
not
certainly try.
great at it.
Okay, Kerosy is apparently a cleric.
I know exactly what this guy's doing.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
He worships
Uh,
swords.
Yeah, this little number here. What they do is they like to conglomerate around in little stone circles, and they pray. But what they have to do first is they sacrifice a virgin to their corrupt chaos god.
I'm safe.
Roll that deception.
Oh, me?
Yeah, no, I know you're just fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kerosy, from what you can tell, that's not a symbol of any god that you're aware of. You've seen a lot of them, being a bard. You've seen a lot of symbols. This one you've never seen before.
Well, it checks out that it is indeed a religious symbol.
Yeah, that much you can tell by the way he's wearing it. And he's not seeming to hide it. He goes, I assume I'm to be the one to escort you guys to the mountains.
Well, you tell us. I mean, no, they didn't tell us about who was going to escort who. By the way, what can you tell me about that difficult to hold sword symbol you got there?
It's a god from the realm I come from.
Another realm?
Not
And what realm would that be?
Our friends and the cards?
He looks at you very confused.
What, did they use Roman gods? I can't remember.
They had various deities, actually. It was scattered throughout. Basically, any god you can think of, there was somewhere. Someone had a representation. Mostly Roman.
Aphrodite? Hermes?
You see him think for a second. No, none of those.
Who be it?
Vorak.
Sounds like a chill dude.
The god of war.
Oh.
Oh, you folks in
Another
your
god.
war.
He just nods.
Kratos.
That's a symbol for the god of war.
Yeah, because I can say whatever I want. It's my goddamn war.
Oh, I didn't know. I was. Okay,
No, it's
funny.
no, it's not the.
Great.
It's not for
Sorry.
the god. It's not for the god of war for this game. For Fortis. He already said he's from another realm, and that it's the god for that realm.
Oh, okay.
No, the god of war for this realm is actually the Omega symbol.
Is the what?
The Omega symbol. I'll get it for you.
The actual, like if you look at the symbol of the god of war.
My dear Kratos.
So, does that mean you're going to be accompanying us on the hunt?
That's what I was told.
You gonna help kill it?
If need be.
Cool.
Well, it's going to take us a while to prepare, and we are also here on a bit of a fact-finding mission. I know that well, I don't know if you know, but back on Penryn, there's not a whole lot known about your race, so we've come here as a sort of a delegation to better understand you.
Very well. It will be a long trip, so we can talk along the way. I would recommend that if I tell you to do something, to just do it. It's easier. Less problems will arise. I'm told you want to go to the northeast first.
Correct, but I'd like to take a look around the city first.
That can be arranged. Follow me.
Okay, I guess we do.
I will follow.
Immediately on his hell steed.
Okay.
Even in building.
As you guys walk out, since he's tall and he's got long legs, he keeps a pretty decent pace. When he notices he's kind of walking a little bit further than you guys are keeping up, he actually does. You notice he slows his stride a bit. Forgive me, not used to such small individuals.
Imagine Razik like walking like Mr. Krabs, just waddling.
I'm trying to catch haste on myself just to keep up.
He does slow down. He makes his pace a lot slower, so that way he can keep up with you guys. Like I said, when you came through, you were getting mixed looks. As you're walking around now, you're getting mixed looks. The Chronon's ones just straight glare daggers at you, but they look to your escort and decide it's better not to do anything.
Wish you would.
So, what would you like to know?
So, what can you tell us of the history of your people?
We were created to be a warrior race, and we were taught as such. Now, over the years and the various worlds we've encountered, we've picked up a few traits and learned a few new things, so you will see some differences.
I see. I wanted in my mind to the other two say, okay, all right. I'm gonna try something, and when the time comes, just kind of follow me.
Physically or mentally?
Both. I want to say to him, now I follow a god of creation and crafting, and a lot of that crafting is the crafting of weapons and things of war, things of destruction. I do believe that following a god of war, in addition to my own, could very well benefit us quite a lot. However, I have to admit I'm a little ill versed in the means of prayer to such a god. Could you lead us in a prayer to Vorak?
Usually we only use his name in battle. There are those that tend to also do what you would classify as the clerics of Vorak, but they're few and far between. I'm one of only a handful of his followers here.
Well, we may be able to change that, my friend. Is there some ritual we should do? How should we try and commune or pay our tribute?
Sacrificing a goat.
He looks at you. Well, how do you commune with your gods?
I don't
Well,
really want to
here,
know.
what we do is we bow our heads and close our eyes and think deeply, and you attempt to commune your soul with that of the gods and focus all of your emotions, all of your senses on this connection. Would you care to do that with me?
Can't hurt. Would you prefer to go to the temple?
Well, I don't know that the gods truly care about where you do it, just that you truly mean it when you do it.
No, I'm just referring to it be a little safer once I close my eyes. I kind of promise what would happen afterwards. You would be under
Well,
you would be under no harm at the temple. We do treat holy places with respect, even if we don't agree with the philosophies.
I understand, but we find ourselves to be pretty capable of defending ourselves.
Very well.
Ain't that great?
Very well. He stops.
All right, let us bow our heads in prayer
Okay.
and focus on your God and really truly devote all of yourself to this communion. All right, let's bone out. Come on, you guys. This is in the message to the others
Gotcha.
in the head, of course.
Where are we boning?
Well, I think we need to
On the
find out.
Pharisee.
We need to find out some of these. We need to find one of these wingless races and see if there's some sort of gathering of them. If they have, I don't know, some sort of part of town where they congregate. We need to get through to them first and let them understand that they are powerful. But we need to get away first.
Couldn't we have just told him that we weren't ready to go out yet?
We
Was this
we did.
necessary?
We did, and he was like, "Oh, let me show you the city." It's pretty clearly an armed escort that we're not supposed to get away from.
All right, let's go. I guess hop on my steed.
Okay. You guys managed to get away as he's sitting there communing. Where'd he go? North, south, east, or west?
I think he said northwest was where the Chimera was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we're just in the town right now.
Yeah, you guys don't want to go there with just you
Oh.
three.
Let's go west,
Okay. You guys,
wherever the more
you guys head west.
shabby looking.
Yeah, as you guys head west, you begin to notice that as you get further west, you kind of, make a few turns just to make sure, you kind of weasel around. You still get strange looks, but most people just, most of them just pass you by and, ignore you. You finally get to the western part of the city, almost near the walls, when you run across a small area. Looks like the shabby part of town. I mean, it makes the other buildings look like mansions. And here is where you definitely see a large concentration of non-winged Nemesi.
I want to see if I can suss out if there's, I don't know, some kind of a figure among them that speaks for the others, or if there's someone they seem to be looking to.
As you get kind of near them and kind of trying to look around, they avert their gaze from you, and seem to kind of shy away. You notice as you get near a couple, and even you looking like you're trying to talk to them, and they immediately, go into their homes and close the doors.
Well, this is probably a dumb question, but is our money good here?
Is what?
Is our money good here?
You have no idea. Again, you guys know very little about the society as a whole. Most you know now is that they obviously are a warrior, type race, and that you've now just learned that there are two different types of Nemesi.
Say, Karasi, you can disguise yourself, right?
Let me think on that for a second. Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can sort of disguise myself.
How do you mean?
I can sort of use a disguise, but I don't know if it'll count for anything. I can blend in, pretty much, if I have to.
I have disguise self.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah, I also have disguise self. Let me see what I can do for you.
The one catch is if you guys are going to try and blend in with the Nemesi, there's no way. You guys are just not tall enough.
Well, disguise self should let you.
1 foot shorter, 1 foot taller, specifically, is what it says.
She's 6 foot.
Oh, okay, so Kerosene might be able to pull it off. She just looked like a little shorter than Nemesi, which, I mean, they do have various sizes. I think the shortest you guys have probably seen is about 7 foot, so she might actually be able to get away with it. But, like, for Razik, there's no way. He would have to look like something.
Could I do it?
I put him on my shoulders and get a really big strength up.
Oh my god, I was waiting on that.
Is that a potential, though? Could we try that? I have, like, 3 cloaks.
What's your strength?
My strength?
Yeah.
If anything, he could carry me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, might be the other way around. I don't think you're gonna be able to carry him.
I got a 16.
Yeah, there's no way you guys would be able to carry him. He's a big, heavy dwarf. There's no way you're gonna be able to carry him.
Can we stand on the door?
You guys
I
are welcome to
mean,
try it.
we're getting a little silly here.
I mean, you got to remember, you're also standing currently right now, you're standing out in the middle of the open, and because you said it, Kerosene, you have your mount with you.
I'm just riding elegantly on this flaming horse.
Mm-hmm. Which is really weird because they didn't seem to care.
Well, should we even bother disguising ourselves? We could be like, hey, we're here to help you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind not being seen while we do so.
You hear coming from a doorway, psst.
Oh, who's up?
Psst.
I eyebrow over to the sound. Is it coming just from the doorway, or?
It's coming from one of the doorways. You're like in like a small little, like, lack of a better term, neighborhood.
I'm gonna try to find out where it came from.
You see a door slightly open, and you see an arm waving you in. You recognize it as an Nemesi arm, but you see them waving you in.
This isn't suspicious at all. Let's go.
Sidle on in.
Okay.
I'll walk over there.
The horse stays outside.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, but Razik's pretty confident in his ability to talk or explode his way out of any situation.
Or explode. I like that one. As you guys come in, you see what looks like a small family. All of them no wings.
Hmm.
Hello, children.
As soon as you guys get fully in, he closes the door and you hear him actually kind of bar it. What are you doing here?
Well, we haven't been here long, but we hear there's a sort of a caste system in this city and this entire culture.
He nods. Children, go upstairs and play. No, the kids run
We're
off.
here to cast that away.
Oh boy.
Wow.
We that didn't quite sit too right with us, so Well, we're here to help you fix it. Seems to me, whether it be through outright intimidation or who knows how long of conditioning, that these folks aren't too proud of themselves.
If you'd lived the life we have, you would completely understand why we're not so proud.
When you live your whole life being told that you're nothing, you can't help but believe it, even if it's just to a small extent.
You're not.
That's
I
the issue. I think that's the first thing we need to solve before anything else. Because how can we get y'all on this kind of bandwagon if most of you don't care about yourselves or value yourselves as much as you should? I think that's the first thing we need to do.
It is not something that can easily be taken away. Most of us have lived many hundreds of years with that philosophy bred into us.
Well, we're going to need some way to change that.
tell me. Galadus steps up and he looks at him and says, "I've never been to this continent, so I don't know how the Nemesi live. So, is our money good here?"
Yeah, your money's good. How long you keep it is up to you.
And if we pass our money out, say, if we pass our money out, how much would be needed per person to gain status for you?
We don't gain status that way. We are the lower caste, and we have forever been lower caste. What you're asking, what you guys want to do is you want to upturn our entire way of life and give us more status, which most of us want, but we are very small in number.
Do you all wish to remain being seen as lesser beings?
Many of them have gotten used to it, and those who don't disrupt the balance tend to be treated a little better. Those who are rebels tend to be outcast and demeaned and many other things I'm sure you can imagine.
It's easy to prosecute those who wish for justice.
So, it seems to me that there's a couple ways we can go about this. One would be the least successful and probably least desirable, violent uprising. Wouldn't recommend it, but there it is. It's an option. Two would be equally difficult, which is to change the minds of an entire society overnight somehow.
He just kind of chuckles at that one.
I would say that would probably be the more dangerous,
Musical numbers always change everybody's mind.
Or
considering we're not Nemesi.
there's another option. We have quite a lot of clout and weight to sling around over in Penryn, and I think we might be able to arrange a exodus. If you aren't going to be treated right here, well, damn it, you can be treated right somewhere.
Wait,
And Razik just turned into Moses.
He looks at the three of you and goes, I appreciate your thought process, but not only would you put our lives in danger, you would put yours and anybody who assisted us in danger.
Our lives are kind of already in danger.
You're walking around the city unarmed. You're not in as much danger as you think.
Why are we unarmed?
Unharmed, not unarmed.
Oh, I was like, bro.
No.
where-
You guys, no. You guys still have your stuff.
Would anybody mess with an elf on a nightmare?
Probably. I would.
Your beast would be.
I wouldn't.
Your beast would be a snack.
Oh, never mind then.
But I'm not saying that it has to be the entire cast, just those who are wishing for a better life.
And those who are stuck behind would suffer the wrath. Many of us would not leave our brothers and sisters behind. It would be an all or nothing effort.
Well,
So-
then we might have to do some convincing.
Let's take the city and push it somewhere else.
He looks at you very confused.
Yeah. Is there some sort of a meeting place for your kind? Is there do you share culture in any way? Is there some sort of building, gathering place, or religious gathering of just your kind?
You'll have to wait till nightfall.
Well, that I believe we could do.
My recommendation is get back to your escort and play along for a while. And then somehow try and find a way to slip away. He walks over to a table. He pulls out a piece of paper. You notice his wife, which you're gathering, she quickly begins saying something in their native tongue. And she kind of stops and looks over at you guys and keeps talking again. He responds, and you can see him drawing something out. After a few minutes of those two going back and forth, he walks over and hands you the rolled up piece of paper he gave you.
Okay, I take a look at it.
It's a map. It's a basic map. I mean, he's not, an expert cartographer, so, it's just a basic map of the city, and he draws a path to a certain building. Ironically, in the northern sector.
Understood. Is there any sort of passcode or, well, I guess it's not like anyone would be, we wouldn't be mistaken for anybody else.
He shakes his head. No.
Okay, understood. I
Fair
suppose
warning.
we'll see you tonight then.
Fair warning, not all of our kin are going to be as welcoming as I am.
Understood. Well then, I suppose we'll see you there. What was your name?
Vinar.
Vinar. Well, good luck to you and your family. Well, we'll be seeing you at the gathering.
Not. He walks over, unbars the door, opens it up for you.
Okay, we walk out. Or I walk out.
What do
I
you
also
do?
want to scan the crowd, make sure I don't see the escort in it.
Nope.
It's like, all right, guys, got an idea. I want to go up to the very first street market merchant I can find, whoever's selling knickknacks.
You find one. Do the other two
All
of
right.
you walk out, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
just a
follow him.
You and your horse
I'll,
in tow.
I'll just pick 3 of his items at random and ask how much.
1,000 gold.
1,000. I took a look at what I grabbed.
You know there's no way they are worth that much money. You are probably getting fleeced by this guy.
My friend, that is absolutely ridiculous.
I'll hand him 100 platinum pieces, which is pretty much 1,000 gold.
Why would you do this?
He takes a platinum piece and goes, "Thank you for the sale." He walks off. You hear him say something to a rather large Nemesi guard that apparently he has. Apparently the merchants aren't stupid and have guards. He mumbles something in their tongue, and they both kind of laugh and look in your direction.
Yeah, that's fine because they probably need it.
Okay.
I don't care.
Fine. It's your money, I suppose. I take the.
It'll help them out, I'm sure. It's help somebody out.
This one had wings.
Oh crap! Never mind. Well,
do you want to retcon that then? Because this one has wings. Most of the people.
I
here,
didn't. I thought it was like one of the like the poor people or something.
No, in the merchant area, you guys had to go out of the western area and into the merchant area. Yeah, so most of
Okay.
like I mean, you do see a scattering of the wingless ones, but they're usually following one with wings. So you're gathering maybe personal servants, something like that.
Okay, then I'll retract that.
We
Can I
want to
retract
Prince
that
of
or is it too
Persia.
late?
Okay, we'll
Prince of
retcon.
Persia back in time.
Yeah, we'll retcon that little part. He,
1,000 gold pieces. That, my friend, this is absurd.
he just looks at you.
Okay, I want to take a look at whatever it is that I have. Are they like carvings or what?
Yeah,
what did I grab?
The first thing you grabbed was like a small carving of some kind of creature you've never seen, and you're not even sure what the hell it is, but you were just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna grab something. It's just a small like wooden carving. It's the quality's okay. Still not even worth half of 1,000 gold, but the second thing you grabbed, because you weren't really paying attention, is you grabbed a necklace that was hanging off. The necklace is I'm trying to think. Damn you. The necklace is some small, looks like a some kind of weird item. It almost looks something similar to your little rune shot. Not sure what it's supposed to mean, but it looks like some decoration. And the third thing is he actually picked up a plate. The plate has what you're gathering is it's one of those nice, just decorative plates. It looks like it has a typical Nemesi village in it, where ironically you see no Nemesi without wings. So the entire plate represents winged Nemesi.
Okay. So do any of these things seem magical in any way?
No. No, they're just
okay.
knickknacks.
Okay. That's my friend. I wouldn't blame you. I know the whole deal. New people in town, you gotta at least try. But now us dwarves are a little bit more economically minded than that. Tell you what, though, this is a fine craftsmanship, and for a nice little souvenir for our folks back home, I think this would be just fine for about 15 gold pieces.
Nice.
Not really. That was 11. My rolls are pretty terrible. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nah, well, he doesn't have any extra bonus. It's a natural 20, but it's one of those skill checks. I'm iffy about natural 20s. He looks at you and goes, make it 100.
100. Tell you what.
You're paying for the craftsmen, the people who crafted it. You're paying for their time to create those items.
Were they made in sweatshops, though?
He looks at you confused.
Ooh.
You know, unpaid workers, long hours, live in the shop.
Child labor. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
No, we put elves to work. He looks at you.
Ah,
That was a shot at us.
Yeah, that was a very
I
obvious
say,
shot at you.
I'll say, well, if elves made it, then it's going to be worth even less.
I like
Come on, laugh with me.
I like kick his knee.
Ah, ha, ha,
Gently,
ha.
like fuck off.
Well, I was really trying to get under this kind of shop worker's skin
I figured.
and kind of butter up to
Yeah.
him.
No, come on.
He
Just
dropped it down
lower
quite a
the
bit.
pressure
He dropped it down.
a little more.
It's literal trash.
I like drop
50
part of
gold.
my shirt, like revealing my shoulder.
50 gold, and that's the lowest I'll go.
Yeah, 50 gold sounds good to me.
All right. I suppose we can part with 50 gold. I know you're making hand over fist over here. Don't try to tell me otherwise. But we got places to be.
It says nothing. You notice he looks behind you and then goes, 15 gold.
Can I look behind us really
What
quick
did he
before
just?
he says anything?
Why did
As
he
you-
drop it down so low?
As you turn around, you see your escort.
The color drains from his face.
Yeah.
Ah,
Which is really weird.
so how pale he already is.
Say, okay. I want to say to the escort. Oh man, we were in prayer to you, then just kind of got pulled aside of this merchant. He's I don't know. We're new here. Got kind of caught up in his whole story and told us about these really great, amazing pieces of art that he's got here and how valuable they are. And well, I suppose we just kind of got wrapped up in the whole deal.
Hmm.
Yes.
Nice. That's fun. I just need to keep an eye on you. Now, can you pay the man so we can get moving?
Sorry, sir. What did you say it would cost?
15 gold. And he's not even looking at you.
15.
He's not even looking at you guys anymore. He keeps looking at your escort. And even the guard that's there kind of backs up a little bit.
Can we keep this guy with us?
A bargain at any price. 15 gold it is.
He takes the money real quick, puts it in a pouch, and kind of walks over to another customer and tries to avoid you guys like the plague at this point.
I hand out the other items that I put on that little rune shot necklace.
Is there any more shopping the three of you need to get done?
I suppose we've got a good sense of the city, unless there's something that you'd like us to see.
I'm here just to escort you around, so wherever you want to go.
I have no shopping need to be done.
All right. Well, I'm just a really quick tour around, whatever you think's important, just to kind of pass the time.
Okay. He walks you to the northern area. Points out a couple of the nicer estates. Explains that they're to the various lords, and well, actually all lords. He never mentions a lady at all. The only time he ever mentions a lady is the queen.
Okay, very interesting.
He takes you to the eastern side where it's more of the like military type setup, where you see the barracks and you see them training not only just on on the ground, but you can see them jump up and do aerial combat. You think they're practicing, but it looks pretty vicious. Apparently they don't practice nicely.
I stand and watch. It look like they're trying to kill each other.
They are. He says matter-of-factly and just keeps walking.
So we'll say, all right, let's see, 500 on the one on the left.
Okay. You guys watch for a little while. Uh, the fight between them is just, I mean, they go from air assault to ground assault, and you're just watching all of this, and they switch back and forth. Um, you can see they switch from using weapons to, punching and kicking. Let's see. Just for fun. The one on the right wins.
Hey.
You see him put the one on the left straight into the ground and just starts pummeling him and pummeling him until you hear, "That's enough!" And you see the one on the right stand up and back up, just kind of cocky ass smile and just kind of just looking down at his victim.
Well, them's the breaks.
I should have placed my bet.
Um, as we're walking around town, I think Kerosene whispers to them, or I guess not whispers, but like speaks normally through the mental link. I think I might have a plan, but I need a second opinion.
And what's that plan?
I'm all ears.
I have a spell called Programmed Illusion. What if, in the very center of town, or towards the Queen's palace of sorts, I program an illusion of the various gods of the people, which appear the next time the Queen comes out, to tell them how they disapprove of their caste. It's a long shot, but, sometimes long shots work out.
Well, you know what they say. 1,000,001 chances crop up 9 times out of 10.
As you guys are kind of walking behind him and having your little conversation in your head, you see another Nemesi run up to your escort. And you see your escort kind of looks at him curiously, and they walk off probably about 3 feet from you. They have a quick conversation. You see him, point to the one who came in, who runs off, and you notice your escort looks around at you. You notice he readjusts his weapons and goes, "It's time to get out of here."
What's going on?
Gonna scan the area.
You see a lot of Nemesi around here. I mean, you can't really tell. Roll a perception check, actually, all of you. Jesus.
What? 2 in a row?
I know. As you kind of look around, you see a small group of Nemesi heading in your direction, and you can see your escort start moving to be in between them and you, and then you can see more guys appear off to the left and right, and they kind of form a semicircle around you guys.
What's going on?
You've caused a stir, and now some are up in arms. We can handle this peacefully, but if you stick around, it could be bad. My men here will get you back to the palace where you'll be safe.
What kind of stir did we cause?
You went to the western side and spoke.
Is that a problem? I don't know any other way to, get ideas across.
Someone there reported that you were attempting a coup.
Motherfucker.
Oh, what?
Oh, crud.
Get back to the palace and we will handle it from there. I will ensure you get there safely. My men will also ensure it. Just go now.
I say in my mind, should we do as he says, or?
This fight will cause a bigger stir.
I think we go along with it and then lie when accused of it, just saying that it's nonsense and further, examples of the xenophobia we've met here so far.
I don't know probably be considered xenophobia because they're not from somewhere else. But yeah,
I don't even know what
What?
xenophobia is.
Yeah,
it's the
they
fear of
are.
people from other places.
They actually are from somewhere else.
Yeah,
they?
there's a whole
Yeah.
different continent.
Actually,
Oh, alright.
they're from a whole different world. That much you guys know is that Chronons, when he originally came to Fortis, pulled this race from somewhere. Everybody thinks he just pulled it out of the ether or whatever, but he pulled them from somewhere else and brought them forth. And that's where the Nemesi came into being, so to speak, on Fortis. That's a story that's told throughout the other races. That much is all they know. They don't know specifics about, where they were pulled from or anywhere else. But the way your escort has been hinting, they came from another realm. In other words, they aren't native here.
You know, let's
I'll
just
follow you, Razik.
let's just play cool and lie our way out of it.
All right, the
I
other
would
guards.
use that.
Go ahead.
I suggest, Razik, that you use that wizardry lying you do.
Daddy,
That-
I need a pee.
That
Daddy,
wizardry charm.
Daddy,
Someone has to pee.
I know, right?
That would be Connor.
Let him go. Jeez.
I'm not holding him down.
Alrighty, I'll do what I can, but it's no magic involved there.
All right, you guys are escorted back to the castle pretty quickly. They move you at a good pace. You guys just catch a glimpse of the two forces. They don't fight, but they come together, and you can see words being exchanged.
We're
Okay.
gonna kill again.
As you guys are being escorted into the palace, you can see one of the lower caste Nemesi coming out, and the face looks slightly familiar.
Yo, buddy.
Doesn't even look in your
So-
direction, just keeps going. It's not the gentleman's house who you went into, nor any of their family, but you saw them on the streets when you went into the Western District.
Stranger.
So, are we just seeing them on the way back, or
They're coming out of the castle as you guys are going in.
Snitch.
That's a pretty decent guess.
I would, in the chance that he can possibly even catch my eye at all, I just want to extend to him just like a really kind of steady smile, like steady enough to like any kind of onlooker might not see anything wrong with it, but just something pretty intense about it.
Oh, that sounds
Okay.
creepy.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm getting something across to him. That is, if he's even looking over at us.
He looks over in your guys' direction briefly, but as he sees that you guys have that kind of recognition to at least you've seen him before, he starts to turn his gaze away. So you have that split second to do whatever you're going to do.
Damn right. Oh, piece of shit.
Real catch is,
Right.
how did he hear it?
Doesn't matter. We'll have to just deal with the here and now.
The window was open.
Or as his wife said something, who knows?
Yeah, you don't know. Could have been the kids, could have been the wife.
I could cast Otto's irresistible dance on him and make him suffer.
So can we head on in, or
Yeah, you guys are escorted into the palace.
okay? Do I see the queen?
Yeah, you're led directly into the throne room. She's sitting on
Okay.
the throne. She's got her head in her hands, and she's just shaking her head as she sees you guys enter.
Now, what's this all about?
Just couldn't leave it alone for a little while, could you?
Leave what alone.
She just looks at you guys.
My queen, we were following our escort here. Hold on a second.
We're
We
just
were following our escort, and we got sidetracked with a little bit of shopping, and we wrapped around to found our escort, and he took us on a tour, and I don't know we don't know what was going on.
If you're going to continue to lie in my presence, we're going to have a very bad day. I have spies everywhere, and I know you went to the western side.
Should we just
Oh.
be honest with her?
ugh.
You notice she waves the guards out, who kind of look at her curiously, and she forcefully waves them out, and they all bow and walk out. As soon as the doors close, you can talk freely here. No one's listening.
Okay, does she really have spies, or is she just trying to get one over on us?
From what you can tell, she seems to be honest about it, but you don't really know her that well. I mean, from what you can, like I said, I mean, you've only had brief conversations with her. From what you've been able to pick up, she seems to be being honest about it. But if she has spies around, why?
I would say in my mind to Razik and Kirsi, should we tell her the truth?
I think we should tell her the truth, and if you two don't want to, I will come forward and take the hit.
No, it was my plan. I'll take the brunt. Seems we don't really have too much of an option.
Stand tall, my friend. We will tell her together.
I'll back you up, Razik.
Was that
Nothing
a?
will happen to you.
Don't think I didn't catch that. Stand tall. Yeah, all right.
Oh, no!
All right.
I didn't mean it like that.
That was
All
funny.
right, Razik.
Razik, I know for a fact that was a short joke.
It was not.
All right, Razik to stride forward and say, well, I wouldn't say that there was any sort of coup rising happening per se, but sure, we had a chat. I'm sure you know that things aren't very fair to a certain group of people in this city and in this entire culture. One might understand that you've done a decent job at treating them all right. However, all right isn't really cutting it. And no, we couldn't leave it alone.
No, I didn't know that, but that's interesting. She looks at you and goes, "It is a work in progress. It's not easy to do erase thousands of years of prejudice."
Can you not write laws?
You know the other half of my kin and their philosophies. Do you think that's an easy thing to do? Short of going to war, we are trying to do things as easily as possible with less problems. When one is found harming those of what has been deemed the lesser caste, they are dealt with.
There is never an easy way to find justice and equality. Blood will shed, and there will be fights and riots, but it is a must-have to become equal parts with one another. There's no simple solution to it.
The tree of liberty is watered with the blood of patriots.
That
And-
was a lot more eloquent than what I said.
Yeah, what he said.
And tyrants.
Well, good thing we don't have any tyrants in the room.
True. I'm doing what I can and making headway where I can as of right now. until this city is fully free of the influence of the other side. There is a fine line. We are outnumbered.
Mm-hmm.
So then, if a coup were to happen, it wouldn't be the wingless who would be at a disadvantage.
Not.
Do the others know this?
No, and we keep that very quiet. I
Well,
mean,
it
the other
seems
side may know that they have the numbers, but I don't think they're ready to take that risk just yet.
And then it seems to me that they're not the ones in danger. It is those who possess these thoughts of superiority who are in danger, and they fear losing their ways of being superior.
That is true, but like I said, we've lived this way for many thousands of years, and it is not easy to erase such ingrained beliefs.
Sometimes you just have to leap into it.
What
My
if
queen.
what if we helped the wheel of progress turn a little bit? I believe we had a bit of an idea. Kersey?
Let me bring back the spell back up. You see, my queen. I almost said my lord. That would have been incorrect. I possess an ability which I deem programmed illusion. The plan, if you were to assist and allow, would be to create an illusion of varying gods and their voices, telling these citizens with wings that what they are doing is not respecting their god's wishes, that they, especially Chronons, hold them into existence for one purpose, and to split the unity which was originally there is defeating the purpose in which he pulled them into this world. And perhaps that would help to encourage some more religious members of your particular race to perhaps change their minds or at least deal with progression.
Sounds like a nice plan, but I don't think it would work.
Well, there
There's
must be
always mass crap, what is it called?
mass suggestion.
Yes. Find someone who can cast mass suggestion.
Well, I think that might be the only higher power they might listen to is one of their gods.
Well, what if,
Look at
and hopefully I can say this right, my queen, what if you can write yourself in history? What if you are the change that the Nemesi needs, and you treated your people equally, and people start looking at you as an example, say way down the road
No,
in history? You could be the change they need.
I already am. I'm the first queen in the entire history of our race.
Heresy claps.
And find one you are, and you could change history for the lower kind and the higher kind, and be a queen who treats your people equally.
The problem I have is A, you guys are outsiders trying to influence your will upon us, and B, you guys don't have to live here. You would not have to
But
watch
they don't have
the.
the choice to leave.
You don't have to watch as they would slaughter women and children in front of you.
I
I'm
I
trying to
understand.
prevent the unnecessary death of any of those that I can. I'm doing every bit I can to enforce my will. But as I have said, we are outnumbered. We are stronger in many ways, but we are still outnumbered. Thankfully, due to the effort
Outnumbered by whom?
by the followers of Chronons, they outnumber us 20 to 1. We are slowly converting as many as we can when we can, showing them that there are other ways and other points of view. I am doing my best to ensure that the lower caste, as you are calling them, are given a more fair deal. It is not easy, and it will not be done overnight, contrary to what you three seem to think can happen.
We understand that it is very difficult, and we understand that it's not something that can be done easily, but I think that we can help you realize your will, not just three outsiders here to impose their will on you, but we can help you see your vision through. If
Also,
Kerosene was somehow able to pull this off and have these gods, these avatars of your race appear and tell them that the way they've been doing things is wrong, that they are just as welcome as any other race, then I think that could certainly ease things along uh, in progress. Because who can argue with the gods?
The only part of my plan in which I am pondering is there needs to be an event which triggers the illusion. After all, why would the gods randomly decide upon a day in a year to appear?
Well, as we all know, the gods can do as they will and whenever they will. It wouldn't have to be any particular time. So that could easily be played off. However, like I said, no matter what, you are not going to accomplish anything within a day. Nothing on the scale of what you're trying to suggest. And I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying I don't want it to change, because I do, and I have been working at that. But you're acting like everything will change in a day. No matter the power you use, no matter what, you are still going to run across those who do not believe, those who do not want things to change. And if backed into a corner, those can be some of the most dangerous ones to run across.
But we could change a lot of minds.
Or,
we could probably get the world turning faster.
or it could backfire and you could start a civil war.
Sometimes that is necessary.
That is true.
You speak about, oh, sometimes it's necessary, but I don't exactly see you getting involved in it.
We sort of are involved because
You said words. Right now, that is nothing. I can play that off.
So we've been talking for about 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. Give or
Oh
take.
boy.
All right.
And that's what he was holding on to.
I know. I know Razik's ways by now.
Yeah. All right. So let's contest against that wisdom. All right. Not bad.
Can I bardic inspiration that?
It's a
Won't have
it's
to.
a check. Woof.
Never mind.
Charmed.
You don't need one.
Now, I know that you are a very capable and driven individual. I know that there's a lot that you want to see happen to this great continent and this great people, and you want to see them change for the better. And we want the same thing. Now, I know this is not going to solve the problem overnight. It's not going to change everyone's mind outright, or it might not even get it done 10 years faster, but it certainly can help. It can certainly change a lot of minds all at once, and it might just be what you need to tip the balance in your favor.
You must hook the horse before you can drive the carriage.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I won't try it. I'm just saying be prepared for the repercussions if it goes wrong.
And we will be here to back you up in case that needs to happen.
Give me some time to think of a reason why I should gather everyone together. This will not be an easy endeavor. A random
I would
meeting out of nowhere is going to cause suspicion.
I would recommend that you don't draw attention to it being any kind of religious ceremony or anything like that. Just any casual maybe a victory celebration, or perhaps if there's a problem that we can take care of for you, uh, that we could solve for the city, then maybe you could throw a celebration for us in return, and that could be the gathering that you get everyone together for.
And you see your think on that. There might be something we can do.
Well, we're all ears.
Just announce that you're pregnant.
I'm pregnant. Oh, you mean her? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be more than willing to help out with that.
Yeah.
Give me a few hours. Stay within the waiting room for now. Give me a few hours to see what I can work out.
Out of character question.
Yes.
For mass suggestion, if our dragons cast it, would it be able to affect more than 12 people and last longer than the usual duration, or would it be the same as any of us casting it?
No, it would be at a higher level because of the dragons casting it. Dragon magic is far more powerful than standard arcane magic.
But we've
How
been
long
we're
do you
like
think a mass suggestion from all four of our, or I guess right now all three of our dragons, how would that affect the city?
That would encompass the entire city. Catch is the dragons have to be there.
yeah, our dragons have been kind of
Preoccupied.
MIA.
Oh yeah.
Quiet as of late.
Because I was thinking during the whole illusion that the dragons could cast it and it would make life easy and peasy and grand, but I forgot they were MIA.
You might be able to convince them to pull away for a moment to do that, but you definitely don't want to do that. And I mean, not that you think the queen would do anything against you because she's protecting you as of right now, but you might want to do that somewhere a little more secured and quiet.
But the mad suggestion, it's really for like an action, like you get them to do something, like because it will wear off.
Respect all peoples of your race. Give up on your racism.
Yeah, it will. Like you said, it will wear off. I mean, but you could get it for a little bit, at least start the thing. But eventually, they would wear off, and that's assuming all of them were affected.
If you cast it at ninth level, the duration is a year and a day. So, that's pretty decent.
Oh yeah, that's
Perhaps
pretty
it would
decent.
start to get the train rolling, you know? Maybe they'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess this wasn't so bad. I kind of back to hating them, but whatever.
I mean, yeah, you think a certain way for a year and a day. Well, it's got to have some kind of impact on you.
That's true.
What is it called when you live with a captor for like some time and you fall in love with them?
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm, yeah. Maybe we can give them Stockholm syndrome.
This would be like reverse.
Yeah, a weird reverse version of it.
Well, I think Stockholm syndrome tends to occur because of a reverse sort of infatuation with the person.
But now they'd be liking their captives, as it were.
Yeah, that's why it's reverse, is because they'd be liking their captives instead of the captive liking them.
Yeah.
She goes,
Oh,
give me a few hours. Let me see what I can figure out. I'm thinking of using your plan as you helping the city with a problem because we do have a problem. But
understand.
I wanna see what some others say about it. Some that I trust with information.
Okay. Could we take a break here?
Yeah, I was getting ready to suggest take a quick 10-minute break.
All right. Thanks.
Bathroom break.
Yep, 10-minute break. Be right back. All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Never been a big fan of the Sticks.
I think the only song I like is Mr. Roboto and Come Sail Away. That's about it.
I don't recall a lot of the songs from Styx.
Come
With
sail away.
Lorelai.
So I do recall that one. I know I've heard plenty of songs from them because my mom plays it a lot, but well, she plays like 70s and 80s music a lot, I should say.
Actually, got to see them live years ago.
I
Bo-
think my mom did, or like tried to, or something.
They did a big tour with Boston and Def Leppard.
I love
Pretty
to sing Def
wild.
Leppard.
What,
They were all really good.
is that like within the last 2 years?
No, this is I must have been like, I don't know, 15. It was a while
couple
ago.
years ago. I don't know how old you
Yeah, about 9 years ago.
You ever
are.
seen ZZ Top?
My mom saw ZZ Top, but she also saw Def Leppard in concert here.
Dude, I wasn't even in the audience. We were standing on the sidelines, but you could still see him from where we were. And I'm telling you, man, when I went to see ZZ Top, they had like more bras on the stage than anything. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Yikes. Who? Listen. Okay, listen. Real moment. Bras are like $30 a piece. Who just throws them at a celebrity who's just gonna have them swept up by like the janitor?
I don't even know, but I'm telling you, there's one that they could have used as a parachute.
That's why you got to hit the Goodwill beforehand.
Engrave your name and number into it.
Yep.
You know, this is somewhat related, but not about like underwear. The other day, I was getting some food from this place called Bulldoggies, which is like it's a bulldog mascot, and it's like bulgogi, so you know it's a pun. And so I like got a bibimble, and like I was waiting, and there was this like you guys can't relate because I'm pretty sure you're all straight as hell, but like there was this attractive guy, and like he had this dog, right? And I almost had a creepy moment of I almost looked at the dog's tag to memorize his number and add it on my phone and like look him up on Facebook or something. And I was
Wow,
like, whoa, now
that's a little creepy.
Oh yeah,
And
boy.
so I didn't, but like a split second I thought about it and I'm like, oh my god, no, what is wrong with you? I'm lonely.
Reminds me of like when on Mabim Bam when Justin said he memorized a cute girl's credit card number and then cross-checked it and then found her number and then tried calling her.
Oh my god.
That is creepy.
I am Justin.
Just like the sheer like yuck factor from both Travis and Griffin was just amazing to witness.
This man has a wife and a child.
Yep.
But also
And then it became his wife.
Right. God, if she did pick up, she would have. If someone did that to me, I'd be like, yo, what? Like, you're smart as hell, but that's creepy, bro. Find my Tinder profile instead. It's on there, I'm sure.
Thank you for her not being the Zodiac killer, I guess.
Literally.
All right, we're all back now.
Yep.
Right. Whatever we're planning, it's got to be done with by like 8 o'clock. Same reasons as usual.
What is that, 12 or 11?
An hour from now.
11.
I forget that I'm the only one in Pacific Standard Time.
No, isn't? Well, Galahad, I think.
No, I think he's in like. Isn't he? Is he in Florida? Who's in Florida? Yeah,
Me.
No, he's
Florida.
no, he's in he's in
I'm in
Canada,
West
but I think
Virginia.
he's in Vancouver.
Oh.
So I
I
think
see
he's
what
on Pacific.
time zone he is.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it's
what
close
it is.
to mine, but like not quite.
All right.
But yeah.
As you guys are waiting, you start to hear sounds like arguing, further down the hallway.
I hope we did the right thing.
And try and listen in.
Morality is a construct. There is no right or wrong, truly. And everyone just looks at Kerosene like, why are you being so deep today?
There's a sure, but there's a pretty good general idea.
Yeah. I mean, do we have to go back to the rat situation?
Here we go again.
No, I won't really, but...
Innocent creature snuffed out of existence.
The arguing then becomes what you hear as sword battle.
Oh. And this is from the throne room?
It's coming from further down the hallway. You guys actually went into the waiting room and were just kind of waiting. You see the female Shauna come in. She comes in hurriedly. She slams the door shut. She goes, "We got to get you out of here now." And she runs by you guys and goes to the back of the room. You see her move part of the wall, and you can see it slide open. She goes, "Go now."
Yo.
Oh,
Hell
okay, yeah.
yeah.
We're going. We're going.
I book it. We book it.
Okay. She takes you. You guys go through various back hallways. You're assuming. You go down a set of stairs. You run for a while. You can hear coming from above you what sounds like on the surface. Sounds like a fight.
Oh crap!
Did we jump the gun with the whole uprising thing?
She just keeps running. She goes, "Just come on, come on. We need to get you out of here. They're looking for you.
Oh.
Razik?
All of you."
Well,
Oh man.
who is they?
The followers of Chronons.
Ugh. Of course they are.
Apparently,
How bad is genocide in your culture?
how bad is it? We used to do it all the time.
Well, I guess Chronon's followers are gonna have an interesting experience here soon.
Apparently, it took them a while to figure out who you guys were. Once they pieced it together, word spread.
Oh boy. All right. Where are we going?
Taking you to a safe location outside the city. These are emergency tunnels put in purposely for any kind of situation like this.
So your people are safe?
Unfortunately, my people are thrust into a war that we're not even sure we're going to win at this point. Apparently, they've taken enough of the Queen's shit.
Well, I don't know if anyone's told you anything, but we were kind of looking to help you guys out.
We almost, I don't know if we succeeded, but we almost influenced her to make you equals, sort of.
She was already working on that.
And
Well-
I guess we ruined that, did we?
Well, we sort of promised that we'd help her out if things did kind of go south.
She's the one who told me to send. She's the one who told me to send you through these tunnels.
Okay, well, I suppose we can rally outside and try to hit them from the outside.
I'm taking you to the centaurs. They're more open-minded.
Well, I'm sure that's all well and good, but I think we need to make sure that the right people win back there.
He's gonna marry a centaur.
Yeah, I think we really need to help out the city and really see what's going on there.
I'm under specific orders. I am to get you to the centaurs, and they will hide you for now until things die down, one way or the other. Once the coast is clear, I will come back and I will get you.
Who says
Alright.
you have to go back though? Can't you stay safe with us?
I must return to help my people.
Guys, we can't just let this happen, right? I mean, this is happening because we came here. We can't just run away and hide just
There
because
are
it's not
Chronon
convenient.
forces.
and go back against our word that we gave that we would help in the event that I mean, we had convinced her to put a whole lot on the line just to kind of help see our way. I think we need to go back and help.
Even if we do that, we would be outnumbered. Just the three, well, the four of us. The one of the four didn't show up, but so the three of us.
I mean, otherwise
We would be outnumbered, wouldn't we?
She nods. The odds are not in our favor right now, but she may be able to cease things and at least calm things down. It's right now just a small incursion, but it can get worse. They're trying to keep it as limited as possible. If the entire city gets word, there could be a war that rages out of control because it will filter to the other towns. She's probably going to say you guys were killed, removed, kicked out, whatever, just to ease some tension for now. It may take a few days. You guys kind of jumped in the middle of something that you weren't really ready for because she had already had quite a large plan in works.
And we ruined that plan, didn't we?
You kicked it into high gear a little too soon.
Oh, God.
well, suppose we can see to that when we're able to. I guess if things are as terrible as you've made it out to be, if we're really outnumbered by 20-1, it sounds like if the Queen is saying that we're going to be dead, showing back up might not help things all that much.
Do you not have the excess weapons to give to the wingless? They already outnumber the rest of you. Not you, them. You all outnumber. If we can weapon... I think I'm struggling with English today, guys.
Weaponize them.
If we can get the wingless weapons, we would be at the advantage.
And that's what she was working towards. Unfortunately, a follower of Kronos is in charge of the armory. She's been using other ways to sneak weapons out, and they were being distributed amongst the others. She didn't want to push anything until she was ready to strike.
Well, it's kind of late now, so why don't we just go and kill him and distribute some weapons?
What if we joined the weaker side?
I think that's what we're planning to do is to overthrow an armory and then distribute the weapons among the wingless populace and enforce a coup.
Well, let's
I can dimensional skate through door at walls. God, what the hell?
Dimension door?
Yes, through walls. I can sneak in and out without being noticed, unless an alarm goes off. But then I can just kill them with my whip.
I wasn't supposed to tell you, but the Queen has an alliance with the Centaurs. We are going to work in conjunction and do a frontal assault on at least the capital city for now and slowly work our way out.
Oh, so we're recruiting another army to assault the city.
It wasn't supposed to be done this soon. We still had to get things in place, and certain people had to be removed from power quietly.
But that is what's happening now. I mean,
unfortunately,
looks like we're going to have to do some recruiting. And just that, right? guys.
Yeah. Well, listen, you can recruit someone to a harem.
Christ's sake.
It will wait until after the war.
Okay. Well, let's go on into Centaur territory.
Alright, you guys travel for a good little ways.
Really stepped in it this time. Boy, howdy.
You guys go for many hours before you finally come out of a small little alcove of trees. You guys actually ascend out of them, and as you guys come out, you notice that it's just, brush. It looks like just a bunch of bushes. You are immediately greeted by 10 to 15 centaurs, all pointing miscellaneous weapons at you. And she walks up, she goes, "Wait, wait!" And they all kind of look between her and you guys, and looked very confused. You want to talk? Better talk quick.
What do you say?
We are here with the Nemesi.
The lead centaur strolls up to you. Who are you?
I am Kerosene
Would you be-
Taliago.
I am Galidus Habal of the Divine Vanguard.
They look to the door.
Okay.
And that's Razik.
He's up.
Sorry, what?
You guys are led up,
Sorry.
and immediately as you come out of this, incline that you came from in the tunnels, you come out into the woods, and you are immediately greeted by 10 to 15 centaurs, all with various weapons pointed at you. She told them to wait, and they stopped. The main centaur walked up to you and said, "Who are all of you?" And Kerosene and Gletus introduced themselves.
Well, I am Razik Cargrim, Avatar of the Grey Weave and Fighter of Chronons. That is to say, I fight against him, not for him. should clarify that right now. And from what I understand, you had some sort of alliance in the works with Queen of the Nemesi in order to carry out a assault against the forces of Chronons. Is that right?
He nods. "Shaunach, what happened?" "Things progressed a little faster than they planned. We're not ready. We don't have nearly the force we were going to have at the time of the strike." "Well, there may not be much of a choice."
If it's any if it's any kind of,
Consolation.
yeah, that's the word I was looking for. You have us, the Divine Vanguard. I repeat.
Want all of them to laugh.
He just looks at you. He doesn't seem to recognize the name.
Well, crap.
"Come back to the campsite. We'll try and figure something out." They all turn around and start walking. They let you kind of get into the middle as they, form a circle around you guys. Shauna goes, "I have to go back. I need to see what else I can do. Maybe I can sneak some others out." The
Be careful, my love.
centaur just nods.
Be careful.
She
May Solana guide you.
she turns around. She runs back down through the bushes into ramp and to spears. You guys travel quite a bit before you run into a rather massive encampment. All centaurs.
My God, look at Kersey. I dare you.
Well, you know I can't turn down a dare.
Shit.
Got things to do.
Yes, we all know what Kersey plans to do.
Who wants to have a fun time?
Oh my lord!
Say, did you ever get that checked out?
Well,
That, rash?
Oh.
for a total of 27.
A couple of them kind of look at you, but you seem a little more preoccupied right now. The leader. Well, we only have half the force we planned on. That city's not going to be easy.
No, it won't be, but if there's any way we can lure them out, I know you're kind of going to be a lot more effective on an open field than they would be in the confines of a city.
You're not.
So if we can perhaps get some kind of illusion to draw them out, then that would put us at a distinct advantage.
Well, you got to figure out what would draw them out.
Well, I hate to be the we could start a huge fire guy, but we could start a huge fire.
But we could start a huge fire.
That would endanger
Well, if it's
more
anything,
than
I can
just
probably
the
pick
people
some
we wish
off.
to fight, though.
It certainly would probably cause a few casualties, as fire is not the most controllable thing in the world.
That reminds me, Razik. I had an idea for maybe an attack of sorts. And maybe you have the skills to do it considering your new abilities.
I'm sorry, you had the idea for a what now?
An attack. I might do more. Let me just explain. I would like one of my arrows to be able to, whenever it hits the ground or causes an impact of sorts, that it would explode.
Okay.
I don't know if, and probably take out a number, say, if they have any surrounding them. I would call it explosive shot. This may be the bad time to mention it, though.
I don't know if I picked up any more of the blast powder. As far as delayed fireball, I didn't pick that one up. And I don't think I have really anything to help you out there.
No, well, it was just an idea.
Let's see.
If we can wait a few more days, we will have the full extent of our forces available, and then we can attempt any kind of plan. That should give you enough time to make any preparations you need.
Well, fair enough.
Those in the city will try and hold out as long as possible.
Okay, well, I think it's better to hedge your bets on the larger force.
It will give us a much more fighting chance rather than going in right now with what we have.
All right, let's do that then.
We'll keep you here. You'll be safe here for the next few days. Gives you enough time to plan, prepare, and we can work things out together for a strategic strike against the forces. The way it was going to go is we were going to issue a challenge, draw some of the forces out, and then when the time was right, those that were on the Queen's side were going to attack from behind as we were attacking from the front.
Are they really that stupid they would just agree to a challenge like that?
Most of them are pretty arrogant and self-righteous in their own ways. They believe they cannot be bested.
These honor cultures are just the best to fight against.
Where are we on the map? Okay.
I'm mainly doing this so we can end it here shortly so that Kersey can get some sleep and we can prepare everything, and then next week you guys can get involved in it, because then you'll have at least 2 other people, hopefully, that can add input and maybe change some tactics up.
I cannot wait till that whole. So while you were gone,
We started a riot.
a coup.
Yeah.
oh lordy,
But I just figure we can end it a little early tonight since we do have a limited amount. And then next week we can pick up where you guys are planning the attack, and you should have Galahad and Steel there so they can add their input and additional, strategies or how to, in a sense, assist the Queen and what forces she has in claiming the city.
yeah, that sounds pretty good. Give us a lot of options and ways to plan this strike.
Mm-hmm. Figure it's best bet because, pretty much anything you guys plan will take over the time that Kersey needs to get off.
Yeah.
True.
So I
So
figure,
do you guys want to stop here then?
yeah, how about we stop here? Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Stay tuned next week, as hopefully it's a little longer and we get more done. Enjoy.